Salute, salute. We in the building. Gauss Malo in the building. Shout out to Anthony Madison. President knocked it out the park. Facts. Douglas Chunks. Shout out to all you guys, man. I'm in the building, man. Oh, we got another great show, man. Let's get it cracking, man. Let's get it cracking from the jump, man. Salute to everybody out there, man. We're getting it cracking.
In Philadelphia, a multi-year investigation leads to a major bust involving violent street gangs. More than a dozen people were arrested, and the district attorney's office says they're connected to over 20 shootings, 5 of them homicides. Our Jennifer Lee explains why investigators say music was perpetuating the violence.
The Philadelphia District Attorney's Office describes the 19 individuals charged as crime drivers of Philadelphia. The chief of the Gun Violence Task Force believes this will have a cooling effect on crime following these arrests.
I think it's horrific what they've done with music in Philadelphia.
The Philadelphia District Attorney's Gun Violence Task Force announcing the arrest of 19 individuals responsible for over 20 shootings across the city between 2022 to 2024. Many are members of street gangs in West, South, and Southwest Philadelphia, and investigators say they bragged about the violence on social media and music videos they created, in some cases monetizing the videos with ads.
What we've learned from this investigation is that you can't brag about a homicide, you can't brag about the people that you killed or your score on Philly scoreboard without an investigation leading to your arrest.
The DA's office says
I don't trust this bitch. This woke looking bitch. This bitch, I would fire her today. Cause it's probably white. I just don't trust no female prosecutor, man. I don't care if she busted these niggas. I don't trust no female prosecutor, man, to not be woke or go woke. I was watching Matt Wall's video today. Let me find that. I mean, it was a piece of his video, a portion of his video where he showed this graphic that was insane. I mean, when I say insane about these female prosecutors and how dangerous they are. I mean, they're fucking dangerous, man. These female prosecutors are dangerous, Jack. Especially when they black. Everybody hit the like button, man. It says, so if you guys can see, it says, just equity in the American judiciary. Can racial diversity among judges affect sentencing outcomes? As the percentage of black judges in a courthouse increases, white judges are less likely to render incarceration sentences in cases with black defendants. Think about that. I want you to think about that. Think about that. This is insanity. This is crazy work. This is crazy work. As the percentage of black judges in courthouses increases. So the more judges, black judges, say you have a courthouse where it's 1 or 2 black judges, say it's 20 judges in the courthouse, right? Rotating and whatnot. And there's 2 black judges. The white judges may actually sentence criminals to the time they deserve. But say over the next few years, they add 2 more. Now there's 4 black judges. And the black judges, they're not sentencing the black defendants harshly, right? And they're there, and most of them are activists. They, took criminal justice, and most of them are activist judges, right? And then just the pressure of their presence, I would say, was probably what also causes it. Their presence, like, as the percentage of black judges in a courthouse increases, white judges are less likely to render incarceration sentences in cases with black defendants. For white judges, as they interact with a more diverse group of colleagues, they may become more aware of the salience of race in sentencing, update their beliefs about racial disparities in sentencing, or face pressure not to appear discriminatory. So just the presence of black judges, not only are you getting black judges that are activists from the bench and trying to, and viewing every black defendant as someone who's gotten a raw deal, like they said, by this country, and has had it so hard. You know what I mean? The white judges, almost through osmosis, take on that same thing. So now you've got a situation where you're letting a lot of these black criminals are committing drive-by, just like how we always say, every black person in your city is not a shooter, not even 5% of them. But every time there's a shooting, it's a black guy. You know what I mean? So they're letting the hardest of the criminals, the shooters, the drive-bys, the hardcore criminals are being let off, under sentenced, given special privileges, getting bail when they should be sitting in jail until their trial, getting ridiculous pleas accepted. Any plea that you kill 12 people, the state offers you a plea for a year and the judge accepts it. And it's just the presence of black judges turns white judges into cucks. It's absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. And I'm sure the same is with prosecutors. I'm 100% sure it's the exact same with prosecutors. Like this bitch. She's tough now, right? She's tough now on crime. But can she keep it up to make the city safe? Or is she going to feel like, damn? Because you got to remember, in Philadelphia, every shooter that comes through is going to be black. Like, she's going to be doing all these investigations and getting all these cases on her desk, and it's all going to be black. And she's going to, how does she fight being like, yo, it's evil white racism is the reason all this violent crime is being committed by black people? Or it's evil, or I don't want to be part of the evil. Like, obviously it's evil white racism that these people are showing up in my on my case docket. I don't want to further the evil white racism by actually prosecuting them to the fullest degree or asking for the harshest sentence. I want to break the chain of evil white racism right here. only I can do it because you know what I mean. And then they say she's hard, and she goes after it and tries to get prosecutions on these criminals. Then the judge is like, "Yo, damn! Everybody I'm sentencing in this city for these violent crimes is black, and the only reason that can be is because of evil white racism. So let me stop evil white racism from the bench. I'll stop the evil white racism. Buck stops here. You know what I'm saying? Like the buck stops here on evil white racism. This is evil white racism's last stand. Shout out to my man Matt, man. Shout out to Matt, man. Matt is in the building, man. Salute to Matt, man. He says, I've enjoyed watching your channel for a little while now. Thanks for the consistency and keep up the good work. Yeah, man. You know how it is, man. I ain't even consistent no more, man. I used to go live every single night for like 5 years straight. I'm trying. You know, man, I'm trying to be consistent, man. I'm trying. Thanks for that, man. Let's see what this bitch is talking about.
2024. Many are members of street gangs in West, South, and Southwest Philadelphia, and investigators say they bragged about the violence on social media and music videos they created, in some cases monetizing the videos with ads.
What we've learned from this investigation is that...
Did you hear that? They monetize their videos with ads, bragging about real, actual murders. We're not talking about just talking about, you know, rapping about stuff. Oh, stuff I seen. Well, this is just stuff I seen. Actual killers online bragging about murdering people and YouTube monetizing it. Yet, if you're a black conservative like me, now they let some through, some get through. Salute to the ones that got through. Shout out to ABL. Shout out to Brandon Tatum. Shout out to Black Conservative Perspective. You know, salute to all them guys, man. And they doing great work, fantastic work. But a lot of YouTube has they kill channels. A lot of conservative channels just get killed, shadow banned like a motherfucker. You can't. Black Gen Z, they just destroyed his channel. They put a cap, like me. They put a cap on it. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's a cap on my channel. Like, they make sure they have a certain limit to what I can do. You know, and you know what I'm saying? Like they obviously have spiders and bots watching me, and when I get to a certain level, they just shut it down. How can we go live every night and only get 100 people, no matter what the topic is? Think about it. No matter what the topic is, there's a cap of about 100 people that they're gonna allow into my chat. Think about that. It don't fluctuate. It ain't 500 some days, 30 some days. It's exactly about 120 or 117 is the most they'll allow on YouTube for my channel. Every single night, regardless of a thumbnail, regardless of the title, regardless of anything. My subscriber count has stayed the same for 6 years. They haven't allowed me to get any subscribers for 6 years. And that's what going live every night. That's almost impossible to put as much content as I have and not gain any subscribers. And I know it's because I'm based. I'm really, really, really based, right? But I've seen it, man. But these kids right here, they can actually go out and murder people, like shoot people and kill them. The coroner comes and picks the body up. The homicide detectives on the scene, They get away with it because of the nature of their, community. No cooperation with police, other things. Also, like just the brazenness of like they shoot people and kill them in broad daylight. You know what I mean? They get away with it, right? For and they go on YouTube and YouTube pays them for putting that content up. YouTube pays these little niggas, these little YNs for bragging about killing allegedly black people. But there's other things that YouTube polices. I mean, they police other things like, I mean, we talk about like they hard. They the East German judge on other things. Some things they like, you just like, oh man, you getting shadow banned. As soon as they hear you talk about certain topics, you getting shadow banned. Your numbers are going to stay at a certain level no matter what you talk about, no matter how many times you talk about it, they're going to put a cap on you. They're not going to send your notifications out. They're going to do that every time if you appear to be too base. But these little niggas get to actually murder. Like, think about if I just went out right now and killed somebody and came on here and bragged about, and it was actual homicide. The Philly news channels on YouTube did a story. Oh, a man found shot dead and such and such and such and such. I bragged about it. I said I did it. And YouTube monetized that video. Think about that. That's what YouTube is doing. They're paying these dudes to kill people, while out of one hand trying to be hard about certain types of speech. And yeah, they might not ban your channel or take your video down, but they'll shadow ban the fuck out of you. And those little niggas with those that's out here killing people, they getting hundreds of thousands and millions of views. Talk about killing people that actually killed. Yeah, shout out to Montauk. He says, yes, the numbers shouldn't be so consistent from show to show, especially with the unpredictable times this show may be. Yeah, I could come on here at 2 o'clock in the morning, or I could come here at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and it's going to be a cap of how many they're going to allow to come in here. And they can control that. They have, listen, AI, all this stuff they have, they can control that stuff easy. It's not even like a hard thing to do, as it may have been like 10, 15 years ago. With AI, it's easy. Just put a program in on this channel, send out notifications at this rate. Drop subscribers at this rate. Make this channel visible. Don't put this channel on a certain amount of people's feeds. They know the numbers. If we put it in this many people's feeds, they'll get this many numbers. If we, you know what I mean? They know. They know how to do it. But these little fucking goddamn terrorists, they actually go out and kill people. And YouTube will monetize this shit.
West, South, and Southwest Philadelphia, and investigators say they bragged about the violence on social media and music videos they created, in some cases monetizing the videos with ads.
What we've learned from this investigation is that you can't brag about a homicide, you can't brag about the people that you killed or your score on Philly scoreboard without an investigation leading to your arrest.
The DA's office says the multi-year grand jury investigation was in partnership with law enforcement agencies, including the Philadelphia Police Department. Captain James Carney of the Shooting Investigation Group says many of the individuals were already in custody, and 5 of them were arrested Wednesday morning.
It's a good day for the police department to see these people finally held accountable. They might have thought they got away with it. These are several years old, but they didn't.
The DA's office sharing a timeline of shootings from September 21st, 2022 to May 18th, 2024. This map shows the shootings were all across the city. They say 35 individuals were injured, as young as 5 years old to 42 years old, and 5 of the shootings were homicides.
Behind every case, there is a person. There is a family and a community member who is forever impacted.
The DA's office says the 19 individuals face multiple charges. These 7 have been charged with murder. 2 are facing attempted murder. 6 are charged with aggravated assault, and 1 faces criminal conspiracy to murder.
So you will be arrested. You will go to jail. These are solid investigations, and they will continue until the violence comes to an end.
Now, the DA's office says there are several warrants outstanding, meaning additional individuals will be arrested at a future date. They're also asking witnesses and victims of the shootings identified in this investigation to come forward to the Victim Services Unit. That number is 215-686-8027. Outside the Philadelphia District Attorney's Office, Jennifer Lee, Fox 29 News.
Well, we're hearing from the father of a woman found dead next to a dumpster last week in Fort Lauderdale. Police charged a 34-year-old man with murdering her.
NBC6's Nico Clemens is live in Fort Lauderdale. And Nico, you just spoke with the emotional dad. What is he saying?
You'll hear from him in a moment, and you'll see, rather, he was in tears nearly the entire time we talked with him. Denicia Heller was her name, his first daughter. She was a mother herself, has 3 young children she leaves behind. He and the entire family, they still have so many questions. And today, police wanted to clear up any rumors that are out there about the suspect in the murder.
Yeah. She didn't deserve this. She didn't deserve this.
Unimaginable loss.
My daughter, she was somebody. She was mine. She was mine. You understand me, man?
David Heller says his daughter was loving, had a heart of a tiger, is how he describes her.
I'm departing from you in your conversation with her. She's gonna tell you, I love you, before she leaves.
On Tuesday, Fort Lauderdale police say they charged Altavius Powell with murdering Heller last week.
Altavius. Altavius.
Before she leaves.
On Tuesday, Fort Lauderdale police say they charged Altavius Powell with murdering Heller last week. Investigators say he murdered her in a vacant apartment and covered her body with cardboard outside. Investigators say they also found his DNA at the crime scene.
And he left her like she was nothing. And I can't stomach it. Okay? I can't stomach it.
On Tuesday, police wanted to clear up any rumors that are out there.
I know there's some stuff circulating on social media, so we're here to dispel any rumors or concerns. I'll start off by saying we do not have a serial killer that we're looking at in the city of Fort Lauderdale. As far as we know, Altavius Powell's only committed 1 homicide, is the one we're referencing right now.
Heller's family is still searching for answers.
I just want the world to know who my daughter, Denicia Heller, was. This is a strong, good heart, loving, kind person that was just trying to make her way through life.
A life cut
Yeah, man.
short at just 30 years old. The family says they don't know who the suspect is. Police aren't 100% sure what the relationship was between the suspect and Heller. They're not even sure if he really knew her, but they're still investigating to figure out what his motive was for killing. Nico Clemens, NBC6 News.
Salute to Deluxe.
This is why I don't take LeBron.
247, aka Cal Ripken, aka the real MVP, coming through once again.
We're following breaking news. Reported gunshots on the south side and a massive police response. What we're learning at this hour. Thank you for joining us. I'm Scott Schneider.
I'm Dawn Hasbrook. Our Leslie Moreno is live with breaking details. What are you seeing there, Leslie?
Hey guys, good evening. Yeah, we just confirmed with the Chicago Fire Department here in the last 5 minutes or so that 3 victims are at the firehouse. So at least 3 gunshot victims that we know of. Part of the scene is right here at this BP gas station here. This is near 67th and Stony Island. You can see both the yellow and red crime tape up here behind me at this time. It's unclear what exactly happened or how everything unfolded, but it does appear as though the focus of this investigation right now is towards the back end of the gas station back there near the outdoor trash. That's where we've seen police and detectives combing through the area there. We did, I will tell you, get a chance to speak to a couple residents who were walking nearby here, who live nearby. They reported hearing what they say sounded like several gunshots. They also tell us they saw what they believe to be suspects who allegedly ran away on foot, and there was some sort of police pursuit. Again, this is according to residents and witnesses who are out here. Police are out here again combing through the scene. We have seen them talking to witnesses here, gathering evidence, again, really focusing on the back end of that gas station. I will say, since we got here about an hour ago, we have seen the police presence continues to grow here. We did reach out to the Chicago Police Department. We are waiting to see if they can confirm any of this information. We're waiting.
It's too early. It's too early. This shit just happened. It's too early. Let's see if we can get some more information from this other story. It's really too early, man.
A wild and frightening night on the city's south side. At least 5 people shot, starting at a gas station, and some of the victims ran to a firehouse for help.
Our Jermont Terry is in the Woodlawn area where police are focusing their investigation. Jermont, any idea what led to all of this?
Erica, right now, we do not know if the 5 people were together or simply caught in the crossfire, but we do know this BP gas station here at Marquette and Stony Island is where Chicago police believe the first of many shots went off, and we're talking a barrage of bullets that hit multiple people. Take a look over my shoulder. You can see the Chicago police, they are still here on scene in this 10 o'clock hour, and they have countless evidence markers out indicating where those bullets came from. At least 3 people in the white car.
Listen, this shit is how does this happen in America? Like, we all know Democrat policies. We all know Democrats run this place, but Trump, there were federal troops in Chicago. You know what I mean? Trump did deploy federal troops in Chicago, man. Let's see. Let me go here. It says, no, federal National Guard troops are not currently in Chicago. Okay. Following legal challenges. Yeah, they took it to the Supreme Court. Yeah. So the Supreme Court rule blocked the deployment of federal troops. Those activists at the Supreme Court. Is Trump the president or are the judges the president? This is what I want to know. Is Trump the president or are the judges the president? So the U.S. Supreme Court in December blocked deployment of troops, federal National Guard troops to Chicago. I never remember a previous presidency. I can remember Congress, like Congress didn't let Obama do a lot of the shit he wanted to do because he's a fucking lunatic, and the Republicans had the majority, and they didn't want to let him. But he got some of this stuff through. I don't remember it being judges. Do y'all remember with any other president, judges constantly? Just everything the president wants to do, judges, some random judge or the Supreme Court. But a lot of times it's circuit judges and district judges just say, nah, you can't do it, Mr. President. I don't remember that with other presidents. I'm not even gonna lie, man. I don't remember that. It's like now the judges are the president. So yeah, there's no federal troops or National Guard in Chicago. So that shows you that, like, yeah, it's out of control, man.
Cargo van rushed from this gas station and drove just a block away to a fire station. Now, Chicago police surrounded CFD engine 63. This is where 3 people inside that white cargo van stopped. Now, from the front passenger wheel, you can see it's completely bent, but it gets worse. The rear window is shattered, and we spotted several bullet holes to the driver door and the side windows all throughout that van. We learned the victims collapsed outside the firehouse on Blackstone. Firefighters ran outside but called for additional ambulances to help. While on scene, CBS Chicago captured CPD taking 2 people into custody. It's not sure if these were the shooters who police saw run into a nearby building, but dispatch gives indication that they did catch up with several of the suspects. Now, the scene here in Woodlawn spanned 3 different locations, including the BP gas station, which is right off of busy Stony Island. You could hear the realization when CPD understood just how many victims they were dealing with tonight. And it's also frightening for people who simply call this neighborhood home.
All right, this may end up being a mass shooting. Fire just called us and said they have 3 victims at the firehouse. 3 confirmed people shot at the firehouse. This is on top of the one we have at 6-7 in Stony, along with another one possibly at 6-9 at Harper. They have already confirmed this is going to be 5 total victims. This will be 5 people shot.
Back here on scene, you can see Chicago police again still outside this gas station. They have been racing up and down Stony Island since those shots went off. Right now, it's not clear of the condition of the 5 people that were injured, and we are still waiting on CPD to tell us if they were targeted or if this was random. We won't stay on top of this.
Salute to D from Boston.
We do have a breaking update right now on a shooting that we have been following from Bala Cynwyd since early this morning. We just learned that it was an officer-involved shooting.
Sources tell Action News a 38-year-old man who was a part-time officer himself allegedly opened fire on police. He was wanted on charges of rape of a child and was killed in the confrontation. This all unfolded along Old Lancaster Road.
Yeah, disturbing details in this case. Action News reporter Corey Davis joining us there live with what we're learning at this very moment. Corey.
Good morning. So sources have confirmed that a part-time Morton Borough police officer got into a shootout with Lower Merion police officers and was shot and killed right over here on Edge Hill Road. A tarp is over the busted windshield of that SUV right there, 1 block away from St. Joe's campus. Want to give you a look there at some new drone video there from Drone 6 of the SUV that police are focused on. The windshield and all of the driver's side windows are shattered. We're being told that Morton Borough Police, part-time Morton Borough police officer, 38-year-old Francis Connell Collier, is the man who investigators say was shot and killed. The Montgomery County DA says Collier was wanted by the Pennsylvania Attorney General's office on charges of raping a child. Those charges filed just yesterday in Delaware County. We're being told Lower Merion officers were on patrol at around 3:45 this morning and confronted him as he was returning to his vehicle, but they say he fired at officers who shot back, killing him. The vehicle is parked outside of the Edge Hill Court Apartments on at Old Lancaster Road here in Ballard Cynwyd. The apartment complex is listed as Collier's last known address. So back live here, still a very active scene. Old Lancaster Road is blocked off for several blocks from City Avenue down to Upland Road. Residents now trying to come outside to get their vehicles that are currently within the scene.
Child rape. So he's like, fuck it, I'm out of here, man. Kill me. He's like shit. I'm not going down with this child rape. Fuck that.
The former part-time police officer who was under investigation for disturbing allegations is killed in a shootout with law enforcement. Good evening, everyone. I'm Yuki Washington. Yesterday, the Pennsylvania Attorney General's office charged 38-year-old Francis Collier with serious offenses, including the rape of a child. This morning, he was killed in a confrontation with Lower Merion Township Police. Just before 4 a.m., officers say they spotted Collier's vehicle on Old Lancaster Road in Ballackinwood. As they approached, they say he opened fire. Officers returned fire, hitting and killing him. Collier was a part-time police officer in Morton Borough, Delaware County. He was placed on leave after the department was contacted about the investigation. He resigned days later. The department says no allegations were made against Collier while he was on the force. Tonight, we are hearing from one of the women whose allegations led to charges against Francis Collier. She says she was abused as a child, and after carrying the trauma for more than 2 decades, she decided to come forward. Eva Anderson reports tonight.
Victoria Collier Payne says her emotions are still settling less than 24 hours after learning Francis Collier had been shot and killed by police.
My initial emotion was shock because something that I had been dealing with for so long was finally coming to an end.
Payne says Collier, her uncle, began abusing her in 2004 when he was living in her family's home. She was just 6 years old.
It was happening on a regular basis. I would have been just about to finish kindergarten. I was a very vibrant, outgoing student, and then all of a sudden I shifted.
She says when she told her family as a child, they believed her, and there was some response.
I do know that Francis had a psychosexual evaluation that was mandated because he was a teenager, so they're treating him as a minor at this point.
Payne says in the years that followed, it was painful for her to see Collier continue his life, even become a police officer. Still, she kept her story largely private. That changed late last year when she saw a social media post that shook her.
It showed him being welcomed into the Special Victims Unit. It showed him reading to children, and I feared for the kids. I have to find the strength to come forward because if I don't, there's potentially so many more victims out there.
She reported the abuse to police in December, eventually speaking with the PA Attorney General's office. Another woman also came forward, and with their stories, authorities filed charges against Collier Tuesday, including rape of a child. But when officers spotted him in his vehicle Wednesday and approached, police say Collier opened fire. Officers returned fire, killing him. Payne says in her view, Collier's actions speak for themselves.
If you're truly innocent on this many charges, then why did you take a very guilty way out? I think that proves the truth. And because of that, I am at peace in a sense.
What made you decide to come forward and share your story publicly?
I think it was ultimately that I finally had the strength of my husband, and I had been in therapy.
Now the couple is looking to grow their family in the home they share together. You've obviously gotten to a point where you're able to lead a life. Are you proud of that?
I'm sorry to get a little emotional. I'm very proud of that because it took a lot of strength, and having the little family that we're trying to build together, that is all I look forward to now, and knowing that the person that hurt me will never be able to hurt my children makes a big difference.
Eva Anderson, CBS News, Philadelphia.
After a man was shot and killed. This one happened in Miami Gardens last week.
There's a suspect now in custody and a person of interest in other shooting cases across Florida. Local 10's Helena Esperto live in Miami Gardens with those details.
Yeah, Gabriel Hubert's widow and his 6 children are just devastated. But they said they are thanking God that 36-year-old Denard Barnes was arrested over in Cocoa, Florida for a shooting because police say he is the same person of interest in Hubert's murder and also a separate murder over in North Miami all on the same night. The sounds of these gunshots will ring in this widow's mind forever. This wife and mom does not know what to say or what to do. Her world shattered by a bullet.
It ain't for me. I'm not doing this for me. I'm not doing this for me. He has 6 beautiful children. 6. He was not a deadbeat father. He broke his back. He broke his back trying to do what he could.
Gerla Hubert's husband, 45-year-old Gabriel Hubert, was murdered in front of his home Friday evening. And now, Miami Gardens police have a person of interest, 36-year-old Denard Barnes.
Yo, literally 90% of the shootings in this country are son, man. That shit is uncanny. You hear me? That shit is uncanny. How do you just ignore that? Black people expect people to just ignore that. Like, crime is crime. Okay, yeah, crime is crime. God damn. God damn, no. Jesus Christ. I'm assuming that the cop who got in that shootout with the cops was white in Philadelphia. The last story with the women. I'm sure that cop was white. That suspect was white, but all the rest of them, man. Jeez.
He is the same person of interest for a murder that happened 30 minutes earlier over in North Miami, and the same man arrested later that night for a shooting and attempted murder in Cocoa, Florida. I caught up with Gerla Hubert again once we found this out.
And for it to happen in front of our home was a violation and a complete, just gruesome situation that took place.
Family and friends of the Hubert family cleaned up his blood from the sidewalk in front of his home along the 3500 block of 214th Street in Miami Gardens. They hugged one another and cried together.
He was very sweet and loving uncle to me, and we will get justice.
Gerla Hubert praised police caught his murderer. She told me she wants to introduce that person to God.
If he saw the guy right now, he would still do what he could. The guy who shot him.
Really?
I pray for your soul. I pray for your soul. I pray for your soul. It ain't mental health. You need Jesus. You need Jesus.
Yes,
you didn't take away my husband. God got him.
Now in front of Hubert's home now, instead of his blood on the sidewalk where he was shot, you see flowers, you see candles with Jesus printed on them, and there's Wawa coffee cups here. And his family told me a little bit about that. They said before work every single day, Hubert would stop into the Wawa nearby, he would preach the word of God, and he would get a cup of coffee before starting his landscaping job. And his landscaping truck is still parked as well. Now, as for Barnes, he is held in the Brevard County Jail, and he has no bond. He still has not been charged with any South Florida murder yet, but once we have new information, we'll be sure to let you know. For now, I'm reporting live from Miami Gardens, Jolina Esperto, Local 10 News.
Wow. Wow. Fuck it, hey man. Everybody hit the like button, man. Sponsor tonight's program. Take the pledge. Take the $5 challenge. Sponsor tonight's program. Did we get to 100 people yet? All right, we at 100. So they probably not gonna let. No, we at 87 on here on YouTube. So they're not gonna let us get over 120. So we are 40 minutes in. We got 84. Yeah, this is about right. They keeping the cap on this channel, man. They keeping the cap on this channel. No matter what we talk about, no matter what thumbnail is, no matter what time we go live, no matter what the title is, no matter nothing. They gonna make sure at the most 120 people get them in the chat. That's the highest. That's the peak viewership they're gonna give me.
A bold burglar smashes his way into a store that sells eyeglasses, but then he gets stuck inside. Police say he had struck several times, costing this business thousands of dollars before his arrest.
Also ahead, some Americans trapped in Mexico after the killing of a major cartel leader are starting to make their way home. Others are still waiting to get travel plans sorted out.
And we are monitoring developments after Cuba's government says its soldiers killed 4 people in a shootout with a U.S. registered speedboat.
Here for you. Fox 4 News starts now.
A man with a lengthy arrest record is now charged for doing several break-ins and attempted break-ins at a Dallas business. Hello, good evening. I'm Stevie here.
Hi, everybody. I'm Heather Hayes. The owner of an Oak Cliff optical store asked Sean Rabb for some help. But before Sean could put together this week's track down, the man struck again, and he was caught. Sean joins us now with the story and some pretty clear surveillance video. Sean.
Yeah, really clear surveillance video. The business is Today's Vision Oak Cliff. It's full service optometry there with fashionable high-end frames. Now, this guy who was arrested last night has focused on this business of repeated attempted break-ins and break-ins. But last night, Dallas police saw him and caught him. This is video of the arrest of a man who's been seeing his way into Today's Vision Oak Cliff since January 20th.
He has stolen at least a good 15,000 in merchandise frames themselves.
Tuesday night, police put eyes and handcuffs on him after he broke into the business through the roof. Alarms triggered. The security monitors called police. Burglary in progress.
The man himself couldn't get his way back out. He was trying to figure out how to climb back out through the roof. When he did, the cops were in the back. They saw his hands coming out. They drew guns, and they were like, you know, put your hands up. And he crawled back down, and you could see he looked defeated, where he was just like, dang.
But he had caused problems for you. Let's go back to when he first broke the windows.
Yes. So he came 1 week, I think on the 20th of January, and he broke our double pane window. The first layer he broke and left.
Left on his bicycle.
Yes, on his bicycle, always on a bicycle. And then he came back on the 31st of January, the week of the snowstorm, when it was a skating rink, broke the second window, and then broken and stole frames then too.
We see him on the video climbing in with his backpack, and then he's hitting your designer frames. Versace, Coach, Michael Kors, Ray-Bans. Frames can range $100 to $500 in the store, but on the street, a fraction of that price. They'd been waiting since that break-in on the 31st for a detective, and Monday, tourists called police again.
Well, I called to see if they could give us his information. They said they couldn't. We would have to wait for him to follow up. That evening, we got an email, and he asked for a text for the...
He looked like a little hombrito, man, because his height. His height is giving him hombrito, man. What do y'all think?
Video of when he broke in, and that was the last we heard until last night.
Gabriel Ibarra was arrested, charged with...
There we go. I was right.
Burglary of a building. Since 2004, at least 20 arrests by Dallas and other departments, ranging from false ID to DWI, family violence, probation violation, theft, and now burglary. How do you feel now?
Relieved. I'm glad that they got him. I was so angry. I was angry for the doctor, for the office. It's just very frustrating.
Very frustrating indeed, and you know what? This particular business did all they can to harden their structure in the midst of the break-ins, and in between all of that, they put plexiglass up around their double pane windows, added more security cameras, and that in fact was the difference. Those cameras with live monitoring, and then police responding to the call from the monitoring company of a burglary in progress while it was still in progress. But $15,000 in merchandise, thousands more in damage to the building. But now he's looking perhaps at time, because he now sits in the Dallas County jail.
We are learning more about the snowball attack on officers in New York City. The NYPD has released photos of these 4 men who are wanted for the...
shit. Yo, man. You can't. Listen, man. Fuck it, hey, man. I mean, Jesus Christ.
The assault. One of the photos appears to show a suspect raising an ice-filled block toward an officer. Socialist Mayor Zoran Mamdani continues to downplay the attack.
I'm not going to be banning snowball fights or organized snowball fights. What I saw yesterday in these videos was a snowball fight that got out of hand. I believe that our officers, just like any city workers, deserve respect.
See, you gotta come down hard. New York people deserve to be mocked. They don't deserve to be like, see, we told you. Man, damn, man, it's messed up what's happening to you. They deserve to be mocked and laughed at. Because he didn't hide who he was. Now, he smiled. Maybe they were mesmerized by the smile. But aside from the smile, he ran as a mask-off socialist, a mask-off liberal lunatic. Mask off. Now, the smile may have got them, but he's doing everything that he ran on. He hates police. He ran on despising police. And I know. And he won in a landslide. Now you get everything. Okay?
And once again, I think these are the views that I've shared both kind of in public as well as in any conversations I've had.
The police union, with a much different view, writing in a strongly worded statement, quote, "The mayor's response is a complete failure of leadership. This was not just a snowball fight. This was an assault by adults throwing chunks of ice and rocks that landed 2 police officers in the hospital with head and face injuries. The mayor has sent a disgraceful message to every police officer who serves this city and a dangerous message to every person who might be looking to attack a police officer in the future." Harris.
Look, he said that a little under an hour ago. So he's had a couple bites at the apple now. And if that's the best he can do, I think winter is not his thing. Okay. I mean, this season has just not been his thing in the city. But this is more than just badly removing snow on the last storm and paying people $19 to $30 and requiring 5 forms of ID to shovel for the city. And it felt like something was being shoveled. This is more than that. These people were under attack. Those were criminals attacking them. And this city needs to get tough on that. What happens next?
Yeah, man. Facts. But he's not going to, you shouldn't expect that from him. You can't expect that from him.
New video showing the moment a masked mob attacked a police cruiser in Maryland. The incident taking place during a chaotic street takeover over the weekend as agitators blocked traffic in all directions while others performed high-speed donuts in their cars. No officers were injured, but 2 police vehicles were vandalized. Now, this comes after Maryland Governor Wes Moore touted the success of his anti-crime policies during his State of the State address earlier this month.
Homicides are down nearly 50% statewide, and we are delivering historic drops in crime in every single corner of the state. And in fact, the last time the homicide rate was this low in Baltimore, I was not born yet.
I think, Griff, what makes that contrast so stark is
he's right about that, but that was only because of the prosecutor. They're trying to give the credit to the violence interrupters, of course. The ex-cons that walk around in flak jackets, when it's really the prosecutor who's been prosecuting the fuck out of them repeat offenders. He's been slamming their ass.
the visuals of seeing this footage, right? And how shocking it is that it seems that it receives little acknowledgement from those decision makers and especially the governor.
Yeah, and you know, Emily, I'm from D.C. Just so we're clear, it says Montgomery, Maryland. This is actually a suburb of D.C. in Chevy Chase. That intersection, the East-West Highway and Connecticut Avenue, is just outside of D.C. proper, and it's right next to the Chevy Chase Country Club, the premier country club, one of them in Washington, D.C. And so for these teens to be able to take over that entire intersection is just appalling that law enforcement, you know, didn't do more to stop it, because we have these things fairly regularly in D.C. And by the way, why hasn't there been mass arrests already of these teens? You know, in that video we're looking, you can see one guy holding a sign that said, "Shot by Frenchie." Well, guess what? I Googled that. It's an Instagram account, and the guy has tons of videos of them doing these street blocks with cars doing donuts, highly dangerous for the public. And so
and he's able to monetize them too. He's able to monetize those too on YouTube. Crimes. A lot going on, man. A lot going on, man. There is a lot going on. Out here in these streets. Out here in these streets, man. So everybody hit that like button, man. Hit the like button. Sponsor the show. Support the channel. Shout out to Barry B. Barry B is in the building. Shout out to Barry B. Sponsor the show. Sponsor the channel. We a lot of crime going on, man. Whew. Shout out to PL Sandridge, man. He says, talk, support ox, hard work. Yeah, man. Salute you, PL. PL is in the building, man. Speaking of Baltimore, they touting their murder rate going down. Let's see what they say. This is Fox, though. Fox might tell the truth.
An 11-day joint operation resulted in more than 200 arrests, including people wanted for murder. Alexa Asheville sat down with leaders of several federal and state agencies, joins us live in studio with their collective fight against crime here in Baltimore. Alexa.
That's right, Mary. Drugs, guns, violent crimes. Federal, state, and local law enforcement agencies teamed up to take some of the most violent people off city streets. Now, key Maryland prosecutors are open up about their strategy and approach.
Before dawn, federal agents prepared to execute hundreds of arrest and search and seizure warrants across the greater Baltimore region. The targets? People wanted for drug trafficking, gun violations, and other violent crimes. The camera rolling as federal, state, and local police, including the Baltimore Police Department, arrested nearly 250 people over an Maryland Kelly O'Hays.
We are not going to take our foot off the pedal.
Alongside Baltimore City State's Attorney Ivan Bates on the joint federal.
City State's Attorney, how pertinent is it to have that federal help?
People don't realize a number of factors were in play when we had the dramatic decrease in the murder rate in Baltimore City. We know we couldn't have done the things we were able to do on our state side without the support of the federal government and the U.S. Attorney's Office, as well as you have the DEA, FBI, ATF.
Those agencies also sitting down with us. The U.S. Marshal for the District of Maryland on the 264 outstanding warrants cleared.
In a typical month, our fugitive task force probably makes somewhere between 50 and 70 arrests on open warrants, both state, federal, local. So in the course of a quick 2-week period, we almost multiplied that times 5. So
this is why the crime rate is going down. This is why the homicide rate is going down. Because first of all, it's the same niggas doing it. Let's be honest. It's the same group. When I say group, I'm talking about yes. It's like a pool of, about 5,000 niggas in your city that we're really committing the bulk of the crime in a city of 650,000 or whatever. If you arrest them and throw them in prison, your crime rate will go down. It's not because of fucking violence interrupters walking around, a bunch of ex-cons walking around in flak jackets, just walking around the neighborhood and shit.
With us, the U.S. Marshal for the District of Maryland on the 264 outstanding warrants cleared.
In a typical month, our fugitive task force probably makes somewhere between 50 and 70 arrests on open warrants, both state, federal, local. So in the course of a quick 2-week period, we almost multiplied that times 5. So it was a huge success.
Taken into custody, 8 people wanted for homicide, 12 wanted for attempted homicide, more than 100 for assault, 26 for drug-related crimes, and 13 people wanted for weapons violations. FBI Special Agent in Charge Jimmy Paul providing insight on city streets.
For the FBI specifically, what were you guys seeing when it comes to the streets of Baltimore?
I think there's a lot of folks that are, violent offenders that are out in the wind, and this partnership that we did with the Baltimore Police Department, we're able to kind of identify through our analysis and through our intelligence folks to identify some of the most worst offenders.
The law enforcement agencies seizing 4 firearms and 869 grams of narcotics. The ATF and DEA helping build cases.
What we were trying to do is identify, the violent criminals, the shooters. And so we want to, identify, investigate, and prosecute as fast as possible, because the quicker we get these people off the streets, that lessens crime.
DTOs will be neighborhoods, and once one is dismantled, another one just kind of takes over. Is that something that you're still seeing as problematic, and how are you working to mitigate that?
Well, that happens in all communities. That's why at the DEA, one of our top commitments is to target the cartels that are supplying these DTOs domestically.
Another threat to public safety, gangs. Through the investigations, U.S. Attorney Hayes says 6 defendants were identified as gang associates, and some are facing federal RICO conspiracy charges in connection with the MS-13 gang.
The MS-13 is a huge priority of my office. We have multiple current multi-defendant indictments, RICO typically involving murders, attempted murders, drug trafficking.
U.S. Attorney Hayes and City State's Attorney Bates stressing the importance of this joint approach.
It's the violent offenders.
As federal charges often result in stiffer penalties and longer.
Federal charges, too. Giving these niggas federal charges. That's what's dropping the crime rate. Shout out to P.L. Sandridge. Yeah, I knew you didn't mean talks. Yeah, he said, y'all, salute. Boy Kachina says, Ock showing off the algorithm YouTube is giving. Yeah, man. Shout out, man. We got 99 in the building. We're not getting over 120. The 120 is the cap. $120 is the cap they put on this channel. They're not gonna let more than 120 people see this stream. No matter what the title is, no matter what time I go live, no matter what thumbnail is, no matter how current no matter what. Biden could get shot right now. Somebody could break into Joe Biden's house and kill him right now. And only I could know. And I could go live saying Joe Biden's just been shot, and we still only getting 120 people in here. I could be the only person on to talk about it. Shout out to my man Adolf Diversity, man. ATK, Adolf LGBTQ. Salute, man. Salute to you, bro. Yeah, man. Crime, man. Federal charges. Let's be real, man. That's what changed in Baltimore, in Maryland. Okay? Locking these niggas up.
Baltimore police and federal agents say this operation was designed to fight violent crime and drug activity in the city. This video shows the scope of Operation Baltimore Safeguard. WBAL TV 11 News obtained it from the Federal Bureau of Investigation. The large-scale roundup included agents from the FBI, DEA, ATF, police, and the U.S. Marshal Service.
In support of the Attorney General's initiative against violent crime.
It targeted suspects who had outstanding warrants.
The idea was that if we target, locate, and apprehend violent offenders, we can help drive down violent crime near about the area of Baltimore, Maryland.
The arrests took place between January 20th through January 31st. Most were made in the city.
We had a command post set up over the course of the 2 weeks. We had our intel cadre and professional staff running down addresses for us, like real time while we were out there.
239 people were taken into custody. They're charged with various offenses, including murder, attempted murder, robbery, assault, weapons offenses, sexual assault, and drug crimes.
The 200 people I found to be an impressive mark, honestly. I knew we would do well because we collaborate well, but the 200 was impressive.
Police seized 4 firearms and drugs, including cocaine, fentanyl, and marijuana.
At DEA, we're focused on saving lives by removing fentanyl from the streets and also reducing violence in our community. We can't do that without these strong partnerships. And this operation really highlighted the strength of those partnerships.
And while homicides and non-fatal shootings and drug overdose deaths have decreased, they continue to work for more reductions. They say the partnership includes citizens.
We look for tips and leads from the community. And it's those tips and leads from the community that ultimately help us locate violent offenders and help them take them off the street.
Baltimore police say working with their federal partners, they were able to clear 264 outstanding warrants. Reporting from downtown Baltimore, Barry Sims, WBAL TV 11 News.
Yeah, man. Stop acting like it's something else going on, man. Like something else going on. That's the only thing going on, locking niggas up. Locking niggas up is the only thing that brings crime down, or moving them out. Moving niggas out or locking them up. The only two things. Nothing else works. Fucking programs, rec centers, violence interrupters, nothing works. Move them out or lock them up. And I ain't make it that way. That's just the way it is. Boy Kachina says, neuter pay those in hard cases. If a lot of neuter pay those, pay the O's in hard cases, if a lot of evidence. Yeah. Yeah, man. You got to give it to them, man. You got to bring the hammer down on them. They criminals, man. They not like normal people, man. People keep forgetting, like, you ain't about to go get no gun and get no car and just pull up in some gang-infested neighborhood and shoot a bunch of motherfuckers, man. I hate the fact that people always try to act like they can relate to gangsters and shit and gangbangers. Nigga, stop it. You can't relate to them, nigga. You ain't about to do shit. Them niggas will shoot anybody, anywhere. Niggas will shoot at cops. You ain't about to motherfucking... You ain't about to throw rice at a Chinese wedding. Let's stop this. Let's stop this shit, man. Us civilians, we don't have nothing in common with these niggas, man. We don't have nothing in common with these niggas, man. We ain't about to go do shit. These niggas different.
Story here at 6 surrounds the complicated pair of deadly shootings Monday afternoon. We reported here yesterday for you. 2 people shot and killed in Minneapolis in a home there. The suspected shooter was then shot and killed just a couple miles away in Brooklyn Center. That's where we find Fox 9's Karen Scullen now, near the Brookdale Shopping Center where gunshots were exchanged yesterday, Karen. It sounds like there's some new footage, situation involving the same man just last year.
That's right. There is that, and we'll show that in just a moment. But first, we are at the IHOP in Brooklyn Center, where it is currently boarded up and still closed after police say there was an exchange of gunfire that ended with the death of that 23-year-old man who allegedly killed 2 of his cousins just hours earlier.
A wild ending to a horrific chain of events. Brooklyn Center police responded to a man waving a gun and ended up exchanging gunfire with him, killing 23-year-old Eddie Duncan. Investigators believe Duncan went to Brooklyn Center after killing 2 of his cousins in Minneapolis, ages 23 and just 14, something family and the community is trying to comprehend, especially a neighbor and youth sports coach.
He was definitely a happy kid. Like I said, I just can't wrap my head around it because he never really gave issues to anybody.
Questions are swirling now over what
tattoos all over his neck, a goddamn teardrop under his eye, hair all over the fucking place. Wily ass look in his eye, look like he fucking the scene. Goddamn. A lot of shit go down. His eyes, he got the eyes of somebody who look like they done been in the mix to action. Okay? Who've been in the midst of action. Who've been there. This nigga talking about he's the greatest person that ever walked the face of the earth.
Community is trying to comprehend, especially a neighbor and youth sports coach.
He was definitely a happy kid. Like I said, I just can't wrap my head around it because he never really gave issues to anybody.
Questions are swirling now over what could have led Duncan to fire at his family. Eddie Duncan had been in jail after he was picked up on a warrant that stemmed from an incident in May involving Robbinsdale police. Dashcam video shows Duncan was pulled over for speeding and running a red light. But a short time later, he hit the gas, taking police on a pursuit. Eventually, Duncan crashed and rolled his car, but he crawled out of it it and then ran from the scene and wasn't found. Inside his car, though, police pulled out a Glock with an auto sear that makes it fire like a machine gun. An extended magazine was also found with 29 rounds, and there was one in the chamber. After Duncan was finally charged and a warrant was issued for his arrest earlier this month, his Facebook page shows a post where he hasn't slept in 4 days. Then on February 15th, he appeared to be up all night, posting minute to minute and repeatedly posting his mugshot that showed up on a social media site. Duncan was arrested on February 16th. A competency evaluation was ordered, and the judge set bail at $35,000. He was released on February 23rd at 12:41 p.m. Police say he went to his cousin's house about 3 hours later and fired those fatal shots. Many finding it hard to understand a 14-year-old suddenly gone.
Somebody as fun as him, with the smile he has, you wouldn't expect that.
Now, a lot of people have been questioning that $35,000 bail that was set, or bond that was set. The Hennepin County's attorney's office saying this afternoon that that is actually higher than they normally ask for with the charges that were against Duncan. So they did set it for $35,000 with conditions, and he did.
$35,000 bond. Fucking A, man. $35,000 bond. And listen, if you were with us earlier, man, to those people, y'all might not have been here earlier, man. I don't know if y'all been here. I don't know if y'all were here earlier, but I think we cracked the case as to why these judges are like that. You know what I mean? We know why the black ones are like that, right? We know why the black ones are like that. We know why the black ones are like that. Like, because they, you know, they activist judges. They just raised up. They black. You know what I'm saying? Especially the women. You know, the black women just, they got a lot going on. The woman thing, the black thing, the nurturer thing, the hating of white people thing, because black women despise white people. But this right here says, this is from, you know, Matt Walsh's channel, but it's from the Brookings Institute. It says, just equity in the American judiciary. Can racial diversity among judges affect sentencing outcomes? And it says, as the percentage of black judges in a courthouse increases, white judges are less likely to render incarceration sentences in cases with black defendants. For white judges, as they interact with a more diverse group of colleagues, they may become more aware of the salience of race in sentencing, update their beliefs about racial disparities in sentencing, or face pressure not to appear discriminatory. So the more black judges you got in the courthouse, the more the white judges are less likely to sentence black defendants to prison time. You know, they all the judges know each other's records, and you know, they, you know, like, damn, this white dude keeps sentencing all these black carjackers and drive-by shooters to prison time. He's racist. And the black judge is like, I'm not racist. The black judge is like, look at me. I let a lot of these carjackers and drive-by shooters go because, you know, this woke reason or that woke reason or this woke reason. And the white judge is like, oh, shit. Well, you know, I'm not racist. I'll show you. And then it's also just the presence of black. Like, you got a lot of black judges. Like, you doing shit like locking niggas up. You in charge of putting people away, taking them off the street. You got some black judges you got to see at the water cooler every day. You got to, you know, see in the fucking hallways every day. And You know they know your record of sentencing, and I don't even think about including the fact that every fucking shooting in the city is done by some fucking black dude. They're just gonna look at the fact that you're sentencing a lot of black guys to prison time. We at 115. We got 115 in the building. We done for the night, man. We ain't getting no more than 120. We got 115 in the building. We ain't getting no more than 120. They about to put a cap on us, man. That's fucked up. But what it is, man.
Right now at 10, a man behind bars tonight accused of stabbing a woman to death at a bus stop in Fairfax County. What we're learning about his lengthy criminal record. Plus, an arrest in the murder of a millionaire philanthropist found dead at a local senior living facility. Fox 5 with exclusive video of the moment the suspect was taken into custody after days on the run. And the latest on the Potomac sewage spill. Tonight, D.C. Water facing off against residents as we learn new information about the cleanup. Your news starts right now. Well, the big story tonight at 10, a story that has changed dramatically over the last 24 hours. And tonight, the suspect in a deadly stabbing at a Fairfax County bus stop is in jail facing a murder charge.
And Fox 5 is learning he has a long criminal history. Our Shamari Stone live in Hybla Valley with the new developments tonight. Shamari.
Well, tonight, people who live and work in Hybla Valley tell me that they are pleased that Fairfax County Police made the arrest. Some people we've talked to along Richmond Highway, when you show them the picture of the suspect, they say, hey, I know that guy. I've seen him before. So he's well known on this area. And for example, you see this bus coming right here? Imagine you're getting off of the bus. That is what police say. They saw that the suspect and the victim in this case got off of a bus similar to this one right here. Let's take a walk with me. The bus just happened to drive up while I'm doing my live shot. Then all of a sudden, they come right here to this bus stop right here. And that is where police say the stabbing occurred. Now, people out here tell me that they are pleased that police made the arrest, and you're now going to hear more about the story. Let's take a look. Fairfax County Police found Stephanie Minter with several stab wounds to her upper body. Surveillance video and interviews helped detectives identify the suspect as 32-year-old Abdul Jallah. They say he and Minter were last seen getting off of the bus together. On Tuesday evening, police arrested Abdul Jallah at this liquor store on Richmond Highway after an employee recognized him and called 911. At the time, officers arrested him for allegedly shoplifting. Today, detectives say they determined Jallah is also the suspect who killed Minter, and he's charged with second-degree murder. Fox 5 looked at his criminal history, and online court records show he's been arrested more than a dozen times in Northern Virginia, including on charges of petty larceny and malicious wounding. In most of those cases, prosecutors chose to drop charges, likely for lack of evidence. Tonight,
in most of those cases, prosecutors chose to drop charges, likely due to lack of evidence. Listen, they can find a reason to drop a charge, okay? We know why they dropped the charge. They don't want to seem racist. They don't want to seem racist, or maybe he's, homeless or something. They don't want to seem homelessist or whatever the fuck it is. But we know that the black judges go light on the black defendants, and the white judges go light on the black defendants once they get in the courtroom where there's a lot of, where there's a percentage of black judges as their colleagues.
and malicious wounding. In most of those cases, prosecutors chose to drop charges, likely for lack of evidence. Tonight, people tell me they're glad he's in jail without bond.
That's crazy because he was just right here. And I mean, walking into the store, I could have been his next victim if he was allowed on the streets.
And it's good that he's being locked up.
Be at that intersection over there, and I'll tell you when to stop by.
Now, you see right over here, this is the intersection, very busy here at Arlington Drive and Richmond Highway. A lot of people tell me that they catch the bus over here, and this is where that stabbing happened, at this bus stop where you have 41-year-old Stephanie Minter stabbed to death Monday night here. Now, police are continuing to go through surveillance video, processing evidence, interviewing people, trying to determine a motive and what led up to this deadly stabbing. They urge anyone with information to give them a call. As for the Minter family, they live in Fredericksburg. They're grieving. This is a very tough time for them right now, and they did not tonight want to talk about the arrest. I'm Shamari Stone here in Fairfax County. Back to you.
All right, let's turn to weather right now. 40 degrees, a live look at National Harbor for you, the capital.
All right, we going to go to weather. Okay, we can get a white criminal on here. Let's see if we get a white criminal in the building, man. Some good old white crime, man. Hopefully.
We snap right back to winter, and could we be talking winter weather? We'll answer some of those questions coming up in just a bit here, guys.
New information tonight about the man accused of killing an 87-year-old philanthropist who was living inside of a Potomac senior facility.
The same suspect is also accused of shooting at a Maryland state trooper in Baltimore. Regina Ureta is in Potomac tonight with the latest.
And we can now confirm that 22-year-old Marquis.
Once they said shooting, and now we know the race, we know the age, you can already know the race. If it's just a shooting in public, somebody gets shot in public, like, it's a Negro, man. And it's not me saying that. This is the thing that people that it's not frustrating. It's typical, but it's just bizarre. Like, it's not me saying this. It just is what it is. Like, every fucking shooting is a nigga in public. It just is what it is. It ain't nothing like personal in no way, shape, or form. At all. Like, in no way, shape, or form is it personal. It just is, man.
East James of Maryland is the man accused of allegedly shooting and killing 87-year-old philanthropist Robert Fuller inside this senior living facility. It's called the Cozier Potomac Senior Living. Now, the suspect was arrested yesterday in Rockville. I'm going to show you his mugshot right there as authorities are still investigating a motive. Take a look at this exclusive video that Fox 5 obtained of his arrest in Rockville yesterday. Watch as officers surround James, forcing him to the ground and taking him into custody. Police say this case is even bigger than first reported, tied to two separate shootings. The first on February 14th. Officers responded to the senior living facility where they found Fuller shot in the head. Investigators say James worked there as a medication technician, a position that gave him direct access to the building. And leading up to the shooting, police say he tampered with security, disabling alarms and propping open exterior doors. An employee later recognized him in surveillance video released last week. The footage shows a man in a plaid shirt wearing a wig walking through the facility. Then a second shooting. Early Tuesday morning in Baltimore, police say James fired a shot at a Maryland State Police trooper who tried to approach his car during a traffic stop. The trooper was not shot, but did suffer minor injuries. Court documents revealed the same gun was used in both attacks. Right now, the motive for killing Fuller remains unclear.
The detectives have a lot of work that they need to do to try to dive deeper into who Marquis James is and what any potential motive would have been between him committing this homicide of Mr. Fuller on the 14th and then being involved in the shooting of the state trooper early Tuesday morning.
And tonight we'd reached out to the senior living facility here for comment. They did say that they're cooperating with authorities, and they also added that the safety of the residents is their top priority. Now, that preliminary hearing for that suspect is set for the next 30 days. I'll send it back to you.
Unfucking believable, man. That philanthropist, man. He just gonna go. That philanthropist is gonna go unknown, man. That should be a huge story, man. That philanthropist got killed. He millionaire philanthropist. Did a lot of good things for a lot of people. He's a philanthropist. Shit. It's just like, wow. Unbelievable, man. What a way to go out, man. What a way to go out, man. Fuck. R.I.P., man, to that fucking guy, man. Ran across that. He didn't even run across that son, man. That son, man, was working there at the old folks' home. Jeez. Fuck. Fucking A, man. Let's see what Minneapolis was like years and years ago. 1974. Everybody hit that like button. How many people we got? 106, 102? Yeah, we ain't getting no more than that. That's about it for tonight. They ain't gonna let us get no more.
Tomorrow is shaped today, through actions or through indifference. Tomorrow depends upon good planning, and good planning involves the needs and aspirations of various interest groups that shape the life of a community. This is the story of an area in central Minneapolis as seen through the eyes and minds of people living and working there.
City living's really like a dominant thing. Once you get into city living, the city dominates you.
I like the area as it is. I like the urban setting. I think there are inherent attractive qualities of this area. One of those is its close proximity to downtown. By living downtown, one can save a lot of time, and by walking to work or walking to shop or walking to entertainment. The area itself is where it is its qualities.
The city dominates you. You know, you live, work, and entertain yourself in the city. You know.
The Lorraine Park area becoming a neighborhood residential area. I think that's a beautiful area.
course, we have a very wonderful park down the street, Loring Park. I feel that we should make as much use of that as we possibly can.
Even though I've only been a resident for a short time, I feel at home, very much so.
And I think the major attraction still is ability to walk to and from work and proximity to cultural amenities.
People might come down to see what's going on. I think people live in the suburbs have a tendency to live with all their own.
We supposed to believe niggas was walking around shaking in their boots in the presence of these people. Back in the day. Back in the day, these people used to scare niggas. They wasn't scared of none of these niggas, man. You can't scare a nigga unless you like crazy, man. These niggas wasn't scared of none of these people. These people were scared of niggas. Terrified. These people were terrified of the black people that were around back then. Horrified. Ain't no way in God's green earth these people had niggas shook. No way. No way. Salute to everybody, man. Hit that like button. Smash that like button for me, man.
Channel 2 investigation has found that the Chicago Housing Authority wasted millions of dollars on low-income housing that was never finished. It was part of a court-ordered program to de-emphasize high-rise projects and instead fix up smaller buildings on sites scattered throughout the city. But the Channel 2 investigative team has found that the CHA has turned scattered sites into scattered slums. Tonight, Pam Zeckman reports on why the largest contracts awarded in the program have become the CHA's biggest failures.
This is the only heat in Edna Warfield's Southside apartment. Conditions are so bad that she and her 3 children desperately want to move into public housing. They're among thousands of families on the waiting list.
All I want is some heat. I am tired of being cold.
Each night, the family goes to sleep afraid that their apartment will catch on fire.
I hope God the stove or nothing don't explode while we laying up there sleep. If anybody got any kind of building out there, if they got an apartment that I can pay, let me know. Please.
About a mile away from the Warfields, these CHA row houses have been sitting vacant and boarded up for years. They're part of 2 contracts to build or renovate 234 apartments scattered around the city, homes that poor people could be living in. Most of the apartments were never finished, and the $8 million budget is now gone. CHA records show that one reason why the money's gone is the agency paid for work that was not done. In this 6th flat, the agency paid $2,000 for new hardware. It was never installed. Paid $3,000 for all the plastering. It was not all done. Paid $10,000 for rough carpentry. It wasn't finished. In fact, work in 2 of the 6 apartments was never even started. The contractor was Gerald Cantor, president of Industrial Structures Incorporated, ISI. Cantor was hired by the CHA despite his bad track record with the agency. In 1981, the CHA staff said the quality of his previous work was very unsatisfactory. They would not recommend hiring the company again. But 4 months later, the CHA hired Cantor anyway. They gave him the scattered sites contract because Cantor was the low bidder. Now the CHA is trying to undo the damage. Here, the circuit breaker panel was installed without a cover, leaving...
Well, let me get this right. This is why there's so much crime in the neighborhood, right? That's why it was gang infested, because the landlord wouldn't fix the shit, right? Probably so. Nothing ever changes, man, in the black community, man. Nothing ever changes, man. You're on infinite loop, man. An infinite loop. Infinite loop. I'm telling you, man. A lot going on, though. We see a lot of crime, man. Tonight, let's see if we can give me a city, man. Give me a city, man. Let's see if we can get down to the nitty-gritty. Somebody give me a city, man, to go to, man. We're gonna see what we went to the bottom of this shit, man. There's a lot going on, man. What we got here? My man said Cape Town. Jesus Christ. You just did something on South Africa not too long. I just dropped something on South Africa the other day, man. Did a live stream on South Africa the other day. Yeah, Vegas is always a good one, man. It's a lot of Vegas is that's surprising, man. It's like, damn. They say what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Vegas is associated with fun and shit. And then you realize, God damn, they got a whole lot of niggas down there, man.
Well, we here at News 3 continue our celebration of 100 years of celebrating Black history. And tonight, we're taking a closer look at the deep historic connection between Black women and their hair and the law that protects their freedom. So in 2020,
the deep connection between Black women and their hair. Yeah, the connection is like other women. Now, I know that Black women's hair is unique, right? But acting as if other women don't have a deep connection with their hair. Like as if other women, like only women who have a connection with their hair is Black women. Like it's something special. And it's historical, man. It's historical, man. The connection that Black women, we special. We special and shit. You know what I'm saying?
taking a closer look at the deep historic connection between Black women and their hair and the law that protects their freedom. So in 2021, then Governor Steve Sisolak signed the Crown Act. That's a landmark law that prohibits discrimination based on race-based hairstyles by extending legal protections to hair texture and protective styles, including locks, braids, twists, and afros. And research from the Crown Act organization reveals a stark reality. Black women are 1.5 times more likely to be sent home from work because of their hair. But with the Crown Act in place, Black women can now wear their hair as
Black women probably getting sent home for other shit, man. Their attitude, being late. It ain't their fucking hair. Stop this shit. I done had a few black women in my life, man. Let's just say, and then it's 6 degrees of separation too. My friends and their girls, and I'd never heard a black woman ever say they got sent home from work because of their hair. I've never seen it in school either. What the fuck? How many of y'all ever seen a black woman get sent home from somewhere because of their hair? Press 1 if you've ever seen a black woman get sent home from school because of their hair. I just don't remember this. Where have I been? I feel like it's the Mandela effect. I just don't remember this. Ever. Sent home because of their hair? Where the fuck have I been all these years while all these black women have been getting sent home because of their hair? It's like, God damn. It's literally like the Mandela effect.
home from work because of their hair. From the Crown Act organization reveals a stark reality. Black women are 1.5 times more likely to be sent home from work because of their hair. But with the Crown Act in place, black women can now wear their hair as they please with confidence and with the freedom to express themselves. News 3's Allura Lagarde explains.
It's a feeling of see me. I'm put together from head to toe. I feel good.
This is how North Las Vegas Mayor Pamela Goins-Brown describes the power of hair, especially for black women, when it's done the way they want it done.
Whether you're wearing your natural hair or you're straightening your hair or whatever you're doing.
For black women, hair is more than a style. It symbolizes identity, resilience, and cultural pride. From weaves and K-tips to wigs and braids, hair is a personal statement that's now legally protected.
And I love wearing braided styles too, because that's when you know I'm going on a cruise.
I was about to say, I told someone, I said, if you see me coming in with braids, just know I'm about to go on vacation.
The fuck are they talking about? They wear braids, but it's under a wig. This is crazy. This shit is absolutely diabolically crazy. Okay.
Maury on vacation mode.
And who helps bring hair expression to life?
I'll give you the mirror.
Hairstylist Shonda Cass, owner of Cass Studio. She's been doing hair since she was a child, and her clients rarely miss an appointment. She loves what she does because it allows her to help people express themselves.
You know, it's fun. It's almost like art class in school.
Almost like knocking a nigga naps out of your head. And listen, I don't have a problem with black women wearing their hair straight. Because there's all types of fucking cultures that do all type of weird shit, right? On this planet, man. All type of cultures that do all types of weird shit. You know what I mean? So black women straightening their hair is like very low on the totem pole of the weird shit that cultures do. Very low on the totem. I mean, low. Press one. Like, think about all the tribes and all the motherfucking indigenous motherfuckers that do all type of weird shit. Black women straightening their hair is just very low on the totem pole. And it's just the style. It's just, we don't know why any group does anything they do. You know what I mean? Look at the Arabs. They fucking cover the women up from head to toe and shit. Like literally cover them up from head to toe. You go over there, all the women covered up from head to toe. It's a lot of weird ass traditions and cultures. This ain't nothing compared if you look at it from that aspect. If you look at it from that aspect, shout out to Savrix. It's legal to discriminate against a black in any way. Yeah, it is illegal. It's illegal to not like a black person. Like, if you meet a black person and you don't like them, like, that's illegal. Straight up. Straight up, press one. If you meet a black person and you don't like them, especially in a lot of countries, like Europe and shit, if you just say, I don't like that black guy, man. I don't like the cut of his jib. But you can be hauled off to jail in Europe. Now, in America, we trying to get away from that shit. Trying to move away from that, but we was close to there. We was almost there. Just like yeah, man, we was close.
For years, many Black women felt pressured to conform to Eurocentric beauty standards by straightening their hair or wearing
No, they not pressured to do that shit either. That's another lie. Black women ain't pressured to do that shit. Black women want to do that shit. They like the way it look when their hair's straight. And like I said, I don't have a problem with that. If you like the way your hair look when it's straight, straighten it. You know what I'm saying? Straighten that shit, man. But don't try to make it seem like white people is making you do it out of racism and shit. You just like your hair straight. You don't like it when it's curly and kinky and coily, like I do. I like my hair like that. As you can tell, a lot of black men, we like our hair like that, right? You look at black men, a lot of black men like their hair nappy and curly and kinky. The women don't. And a lot of black men don't like women when they wear their hair like that. A lot of the black men like the women when their hair is straight. But bringing white people into it is crazy work, man. Bringing white people, the only thing about it is like, yes, white people have straight hair. That's about the only thing that's in it. Niggas, you doing that shit because you want to do it. You're doing that shit because you want to do it.
straight weaves to fit in. But times are changing little by little. You walk into banks,
art class in school.
For years, many Black women felt pressured to conform to Eurocentric beauty standards by straightening their hair or wearing straight weaves to fit in. But times are changing little by little. You walk into banks, boardrooms, and businesses and see people wearing braids, locks, or their natural curls, no longer conforming, but choosing styles that express who they are.
Why do we all have to be cookie cutter and look the same? You know, express yourself, express your personality and how you want to look that day. Coming with
Said, why do we all have to look cookie cutter? When y'all wear them same wigs, y'all actually look cookie cutter. That's when y'all look cookie cutter. I just don't understand this whole white people have to be involved in every fucking thing. White people have to be the reason for every fucking thing. Okay? Shit is crazy. Shit is bananas.
multi-dimensional colors and, you know, of course, in a respectful way, but, you know, but either if not, if you want pink, you want a streak of pink.
Mayor Goins Brown is especially proud of the younger generations, embracing hair freedom and channeling the beauty that comes with being a Black woman.
Be yourself, be who you are, and don't be afraid to shine no matter what, style you decide to put your hair in. Just be proud.
As she sit there looking like Donald fucking Trump. Press 1. She look like Trump, man. Be yourself. Don't be afraid to show your hair while she's sitting there looking like Donald fucking Trump. Unfucking believable, man. These women are crazy. This is a mental illness. This is a fucking mental illness, man. Like straight up mental illness. Hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't, man. Everybody hit the like button, man. Support the channel. PayPal, Cash App, Super Chat. Buy me a coffee. We got the Buy Me a Coffee link. I set up that. That's in the description box. Buy me a coffee. You got the support link on my website. All the links in the description box, man. You can support the channel any way you possible, man. Salute to all you guys. But yeah, man, this is bonkers. She's got the same hairstyle as Donald Trump. And she's talking to other Black women. Be yourself.
Black woman.
Be yourself, be who you are, and don't be afraid to shine no matter what, style you decide to put your hair in. Just be proud and grateful of who you are.
For News 3, I'm Laura Lagarde reporting.
And Mayor Goins Brown has also been hosting her 4th annual.
Look at her. Look at her hair.
Hair care product drive throughout Black History Month. That program aims to help children build self-esteem and confidence by receiving proper hair care.
Jesus Christ, you motherfucking niggers, man. Y'all are the pits, man. Y'all are the pits, man. Y'all are the pits, man. I swear, man. Look at what sisters used to go to. Sisters used to look like that back in the 80s at work. And nobody ever, I'd never All these asymmetrical hairstyles, I never seen nobody get sent home or heard about it ever. Look at this shit. Look at these women. Women used to wear their black women used to wear their hair like that and shit. When have black women had to conform? Saverick says, sun chick projecting their insecurity exactly onto others. Exactly. And listen, it's not a victimless crime because by blaming white people for it, you increase the hatred that a very violent group of people have towards white people. Like, it's not a victimless crime to say, hey, we gotta wear weave and shit and wigs and yaki because of white people. That encourages hatred. Like, little girls grow up and say, damn, oh, this is white people's fault too? So this is another thing that's white people's fault? It encourages a lot of anger. And people that encounter white people that have that anger, that visceral anger towards white people for affecting their lives, in what may be seen as like a negative way because I don't love my hair. The reason I hate my nappy hair is because of white people, the white lady that I'm sitting next to on the bus, the white man that I'm walking past in the street. It's his fault that I hate my fucking hair. And then on another hand, they always asking to touch my hair. Which one is it? White people always ask that. Two things I've never seen. Never seen a sister get sent home for her hairstyle. Never seen a white person ask to touch a black person's hair. Because if a white person want to touch a black person's hair, all they got to do is touch their lover's hair, the person they fucking. A lot of white people fuck black people. What do you do when you're fucking? You grab you touch the person's head. They act like white women have never fucked black guys, or white men have never fucked black women. They just the only way they can feel a black person's hair in life is to ask a random black person to touch their hair. These people are bonkers. Okay? Mad. These people are bonkers, batshit. Okay? Batshit crazy. These black women never been fucking scared to wear no fucking hairstyle. Are you fucking kidding me? You gotta be fucking kidding me, man. These people are insane. Okay? These people are insane. Obsessed with white people, man. Obsessed.
The Crips and the Bloods no longer are exclusively a Los Angeles problem. For years, authorities there have charged them with selling crack cocaine and committing violence. But recently, the LA gangs have gone on the road. 70 shootings in Portland last fall. More violence in Seattle, even in Anchorage. The Crips and the Bloods have traveled east to large and small cities, including Phoenix, Denver, and Omaha. The NewsHour has learned that the gangs also have caused trouble from Shreveport to rural Arkansas to Des Moines to Nashville. Now they're starting to challenge established East Coast gangs. Los Angeles Police Commander Lorne Kramer briefs officials from other cities about the gang.
A few Los Angeles gang members will go to a city. They will establish themselves in usually the black community or an ethnic minority community. They will actually survey the community to see if there is a market for drugs, to see who controls the market, what that market is, what the demand is. And then they will start to administer or dispense narcotics.
So what does a community do when the Crips and the Bloods come to town? Denver, Colorado has been struggling with that question for 4 years. In 1985, when the first Crip came to visit relatives, he was not seen as a threat, even though he convinced 2 existing gangs to take the Crips' name. In 1986, there was a flurry of attention when a neighborhood festival ended in a riot after a sniper, believed to be a gang member, shot a policeman. But there was no organized response. District Attorney Norm Early.
All too often, when people are confronted with a new problem, they sort of stick their heads in the sand and pretend that it will not exist if we don't look at it. And I think that to some degree the city was guilty of that. I think also that there was a certain amount of lack of knowledge as to just what to do and how to meet this particular problem.
As city officials were learning, gang members were continuing to come to town and profit from the sale of crack, or love as it is advertised on the walls.
This is the Big Easy. That's what they call it. You make more money in littler towns. LA is a big city. They have a lot of gang members, so all of them selling drugs or doing whatever, they ain't that much money. But if they come to a town like Denver where they ain't hip and they can make all the money they can.
I told them no, and they kept trying to pressure me into joining.
The Crips and Bloods also kept recruiting local youngsters. These middle school students did not want their identities revealed.
I was thinking if they want to initiate me, they probably want to beat me up real bad and see how much I could take.
They've heard stories of children earning $20 a day to act as lookouts. Some teenagers make over $500 a day.
You'll meet a gang member. They'll take you down to where the rich people live, and they'll tell you, you be with me, you be in my gang, you sell my drugs, and all this can be yours. You have fancy cars, big house, gold, diamonds, anything you want.
By 1989, the Crips and Bloods had started recruiting whites and Hispanics as well as blacks. Their numbers had grown to over 1,400 members, and they were impossible to ignore. They filled wall after wall with their graffiti.
Is this look serious, man?
And made the news with their gangbanging, their word for fighting, and their shootings, which reached 1 a day this spring. Denver police officer Dave Dawkins was assigned to keep track of their activities. He learned that their violence was not caused by the use of crack.
What happens when a gang member starts using crack, that he loses his loyalty to the gang, becomes loyal to the drug, and he's no longer a good gangbanger.
Who's in charge here?
You.
Who's second in charge?
Dawkins says the violence is instead caused by a lack of organization and by close affiliations with Los Angeles neighborhoods.
So you guys are Bloods?
Yeah.
Inglewood Watts, Crenshaw Mafia, Gangster Blood, 104th Street.
Such affiliations carry with them decades-old hostilities between those Los Angeles neighborhoods true to the Crips and those loyal to the Bloods.
They've been trying to kick up dust. They've been trying to kick up dust, but little do they know it's about to be owned. That's real.
Giving the wrong hand sign
Crip killer for life.
or wearing the wrong color can mean death. The Bloods claim the color red, the Crips blue, and anyone wearing a rival color is fair game. The whole community got the message when non-gang member Cameron Smith was gunned down for wearing a red Oklahoma Sooners cap.
Everyone must
Recently, the gangs have also claimed the colors yellow, green, black, and silver. Many of those who live in gang territory have become frustrated.
I've told my mom and dad that, they got me a red bike for my birthday. And so riding down there on my red bike, and like I have some red shorts, and then when I wear them, I'm just scared to ride down there. So sometimes I'll just go over a friend's house and stay there for a while.
I don't like gangs because they take your lives away for just one certain color. And I think that's not fair to other people because most people's favorite colors are red and blue, so then they get shot because they want to wear their favorite color.
This year, Denver Mayor Federico Pena announced that the city was ready to fight back.
The city, in conjunction with others, will be doing much more in providing new recreational opportunities for the thousands of young people in our city.
The mayor also said the city would coordinate educational, counseling, and job opportunities for youngsters. But juvenile court judge David Ramirez is concerned that methods used to fight old-fashioned gangs won't work anymore.
The court would issue a bench warrant for his arrest, and the bond would be increased.
According to the judge, the amount of money to be made from the sale of crack makes all the difference.
If a kid has that much money, what do you think his philosophy is about power, about what money can do, and how we got that money? And so I think you have to change the approach to dealing with those kids.
Significant changes have been made in the prosecution of gang members. Cameron Smith's convicted killer was given life in prison with no parole for 40 years. Even burglars are being given longer sentences.
I told you that's the only way to deal with that shit. But then they were convinced that this was the wrong way to deal with it. They were convinced that this was the wrong way to deal with it. Shout out to Eric S., man. Nation Hall of Fame coming through once again. Who's Eric S., man? He says, remember DJ Quick have a song called Just Like Compton? Yep, sure do. I think he went to Denver in that video. Didn't he go to Denver? One of the cities was Denver, right? Just like Compton. Ice Cube have a song called Summer Vacation. Yeah. Yep. Remember all that.
If their crime is gang-related. On the state level, new legislation mandates 5 years in prison for using a semi-automatic weapon and 1 year for writing graffiti.
Evidently, there was a criminal miss. Big Rodney was up there. He got hit with a brick.
And Dawkins and 20 other police officers have been assigned to a special urban street crimes unit.
He's got a radio call. They're asking for someone right now.
So the urban street crime unit, I guarantee you they've been branded racist. They were branded racist in their day. That urban street crime unit, they got to deal with the black people. You got to deal with black people, you're going to be considered racist. Okay? You're going to be considered racist. Period. So this urban street crime unit was definitely 1,000% considered racist. Branded, smeared.
We keep getting calls up here.
As seen with this special night camera, Dawkins is on hand to gather information when any gang activity is reported. He's on hand at loud parties.
Later. Hey, what have you been up to?
And when a SWAT team is called in to find a teenager who fired a gun.
Mom says he's a Crip, but I don't know him personally. I'll have to check the list and see.
Other policemen have been accused of being overzealous in their treatment of those who just happen to wear a gang color.
There have been problems when we first jumped on this with a lot of police involvement. And I think with more training and more experience of our police officers, those mistakes will be minimized.
Chicken loc. What's up?
Dawkins, who is one of the most experienced, says that police intervention is only part of the solution. He looks to the community and to parents to help him in his efforts to document gang members. But he has found that parents often either don't know about their children's activities or don't want to.
How old are you?
13.
13? Where you go to school?
Cole.
Cole? You been in trouble with the police before? Never? I'm gonna get your picture here. Stand by. Come here. A little closer. Where's he been?
Dawkins' questions were interrupted by an angry father who called the youngsters away.
Girl. I'll bring y'all ass home right now. Go home.
All right.
Yeah. Once y'all put
No, fuck, we're talking. We're talking. We are talking with them. And there is the problem. The parent. You know, to allow their kids to wear rags and identify with a gang is a problem. Oh.
What should that parent do?
The first thing you should do is not blame the cops for what the kids are involved in.
You cannot deal with the kid himself.
Judge Ramirez says that any solution that does not involve the family is doomed to failure.
We have to go back to the home life, the home situation, and deal with that and try and instill the normal sorts of values that most people have. Because you can't tell this kid unless you do that, we'll give you a $4 an hour job at McDonald's. He's going to laugh at you.
When Ramirez was in the city court, he made families come in for mandatory counseling, but nobody continued that program when Ramirez moved up to the state bench.
If we have to adopt legislation that allows the court to jail or fine the parent, fine. But I think something has to be done with the parent at this point in time.
Ironically, many gang members also see family as important, but to them, a gang is the solution to a poor home life. They look to their fellow gang members, or homies as they call them, for love and support, as these suburban Aurora police officers found out.
You live in the neighborhood, you should know what's going on. We're not asking you to be a snitch. We're just trying to find out what's going on. We're just trying to help you.
If somebody took down one of your homies, would you tell us who it was?
No. Why not?
I'll take it in my hands and do it myself. And then what's going to happen to you?
Then you're going to
I get caught, I go to jail. Is it worth it? Yeah, it is. It's more than y'all think it is, man. Homies
Why don't you let us help you?
Homies are like family, man. That love between the fellas is there.
The Reverend Leon Kelly diverted these Crips and Bloods out of the gangs by addressing their need for family. He gives them his love and support. He works long days and nights without pay or city
violence interrupted
funding to be their big brother.
A lot of it goes back with that personal care, the personal touch of getting involved in their life and letting them know that it's cool to be in school. They could hear things like that from me, and receive it more so than they could receive it from the mayor or anybody else.
Kelly, who spent time in prison when he was younger, uses pictures of dead gang members to convince his youngsters not to use guns. They seem convinced.
The true story, the bottom line is, if we don't get a handle on the situation now, it's gonna be out of hand. We're gonna be just like LA. Leon ain't gonna be able to do it. Open Door ain't gonna be able to do it. The police ain't gonna be able to do it. It's just gonna be like a little that LA if we don't get a situation under control now. LA police die, innocent people die. You can be in your neighborhood walking down your street, and I just happen to see a gang baby driving. You walking by, you gonna get shot. These statistics right here. Look at these statistics right here. A 14-year-old boy sitting down. You can read him sitting down in his chair at home, shot and killed by behind gang related. A 16-month-old baby shot in the head after they chasing the baby.
3 is going to 18 how many times?
We're getting to the kids before they get in gangs, then before they get on drugs, and before they decide to drop out of school.
Dean Askew is trying to prevent youngsters from ever joining gangs. He believes that the solution is to provide love, discipline, and lots of things to do.
Stop the music. Okay, I want everybody to do it right.
Askew himself was in trouble with the law before he started playing football. After his pro career, he began a mission to get his 2 sisters off crack and to save as many youngsters as he could. Working without city funding, he renovated an old building and invited the neighborhood in.
It gives them a sense of belonging. You know, when kids can walk out and say, "Hey, Dean," and give me a hug, it's working. They cannot put on an application gang member. They cannot put on an application crack dealer. They're going to tell you to go start a pharmacy. Don't work that way. So, you know, they'll learn.
Going to stay out here.
Some do seem to be learning. This year, the neighborhood festival was peaceful, with no gangs in sight. The police also have had some successes. The number of arrests for crack use are up. But the problem is far from over. Gang members still get shot. These police officers thought they had spotted a car used in a drive-by shooting. And families of gang members have come under attack. 12-year-olds still are joining gangs, and older members are staying in the gang longer.
Father, in the name of Jesus, Lord, as we come to you.
And all across the Denver area, individuals are struggling to find enough money to reach enough youngsters to make a difference.
Damn. Yeah, man. There you have it, man. Whoop, there it is. Salute to everybody out there, man. Great show, man. Salute to all you guys. Thanks for supporting the show. As you know, tomorrow's a new day. We'll see what tomorrow brings, man. Everybody, same black time, same black channel.